Hi, happy Friday. I just have to level with you real quick. Okay. I don't know how to do this. I love to read Reddit stories and I love to just chat shit. I'm really good at that. And once I kind of like get taken away by the gabba gods of just like gab, 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 I can just keep going for a really long time. And I have so much to say all of the freaking time. But the hello, the welcoming in, the introduction part of it is a real big struggle for me. So hopefully in time I will get a lot better at that. But for the time being, can we just jump in? For you and for me, can we just dive in to the stories? Thank you. Okay. I haven't read these stories yet. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. And these ones I just I was like, I just want to film today. So I have no plans. But I do tend to save, like if I see something and I'm like, oh, I want to come back to that, I tend to save them. So we'll just go through my saved and see what we can find. The first one I really wanted to kind of dive into and kind of understand what was going on here. It comes from r/Reddit on Wiki. I don't know what that means, but it was titled, Am I the asshole for leaving my sister? It was titled, Am I the asshole for leaving my sister's wedding, but keeping the bribe I was paid to attend? Scandalous. I really wanted to know about this one. So let's get into it. My 30s female brother is an asshole and has made my life a living hell since I can remember. I grey rocked him as soon as I understood the concept and have been no contact with him since he moved out of my parents' house. For those of you who don't know, grey rocking is like, if you have somebody, an attention vulture, somebody who will literally do anything to garner your attention, whether it's good attention, bad attention, they want to mess with your emotions, they want you to get sad, angry, happy, whatever it is, they feed off of your energy. But when you grey rock them, basically what you're doing is you are becoming the most boring person in the world, that they don't even attempt to provoke you anymore. Because you're just being so absolutely uninteresting to them. They don't get to suck any of your energy out. And so they move on. Like little vampires, they move on to their next victim. Because they're like, actually, do you know what? My sister is freaking boring. I can never make her cry. Kind of like that. So she's gone, no contact, and absolutely become the most boring person on earth to him. My sister was getting married. I checked to see if he was invited. He was. I RSVP'd my... I hate how some of these people write because I'm like, what did you just say? What did you just say? My sister was getting married. I checked to see if he was invited. He was. I RSVP'd my regrets. My sister, I'm just going to get past that. My sister and parents came by to talk me into attending. I said, fuck no. They promised me he would be on his best behavior. I said no. They begged. I said no. She said no, girl. She said absolutely not, no. They asked if there was going to be anything they could do to convince me to go. I said that if they gave me £1,000 each, that I would... She said, let me make some money. She said, I'm a little bit poor. Let me make some money out of this, actually. Why does that make me laugh? That's crazy. That I would return if he left me alone. They said no. I said good day. Whoever wrote this is so funny. And it came back with £2,000 in an envelope. Oh, they came back with £2,000 in an envelope. I was at the wedding venue with my wife talking to my... Oh, this is a man? What is going on? Oh no, could be a lesbian. Come on, Ella. Jesus, why did I was at the wedding venue with my wife talking to my parents when my brother arrived. He came right over and called me a slur for a Yeah, I missed that. For a homosexual. My dad's head just dropped. He said... Sorry, if anybody wants to listen to this audibly, I'm being so annoying. He came over, called me a slur, my dad's head dropped. I took my wife's hand and we went out for a night, paid by my parents and sister. We were already dressed up, so we had a fancy night out with our phones off. My parents and sister are furious at my brother. He is mad because my dad told him that he is a child that can't control himself. That is an understatement. I feel like homophobia is more than childishness, but okay. Maybe just a downright bad person, maybe. I wouldn't call it childish. My brother is mad at me for being a baby and not being able to take a joke. How do you know that? How do you know he's mad at you? I really don't care. £2,000 isn't a lot of money. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, girl. I haven't had £2,000 in my bank account since I got maybe like my student loan, but it was snatched up by bills. Are you kidding? £2,000 is a lot of money. That's my car. That's my whole car. But it is enough to sting. Now maybe they will listen when I say I do not want to be around him. My mum, however, is mad at me for taking the money. She seems to think I was being paid to put up with his abuse. I have tried explaining that it was more of a bond on his behavior. I love that. You can we'll put a deposit down. If he acts bad, I take the money. Okay? And if he acts good, I still take the money. She said, you're paying me to be here, not to put up with your bullshit. Okay? Okay. Thank you. My mum... I have tried explaining that it was more of a bond on his behavior. She won't listen. Am I the asshole for taking the money and leaving? Iconic is what you are, actually. I think. I understand where the mum's coming from because she's like, I just gave you £2,000 to attend the wedding. I'm not paying anyone to attend my wedding. Not even my sister, I fear. Because if you don't want to be there, then I'm not going to force you to be there. I think that you're not the you might be the asshole for putting a deposit down on his behavior. It depends if they have been enabling this behavior in the past. It does sound like they're sticking up for you a little bit, but not enough to be like, hey, we don't want anything to do with you. You are literally being homophobic to my sibling, to my child. You may be my child, but you're the one in the wrong here. So every single time she's going to be put first. Every single time an event happens and it's a family event, she's being invited and you're not because you're the one being an asshole. Like, that's where I feel like they should be at with him. They don't have to cut full contact, but like if something happens, she gets picked first because you're the one causing trouble over here, mister. I don't know. That's a bit light for homophobia. But I feel like, they should take her side always. The fact that they paid her £2,000 to show up in the first place is just wild. And it comes down to like, what did you do that for? Because why are you trying to force someone to come to be around someone they don't want to be around or come somewhere that they don't want to be, even when they are getting the abuse from the brother, even when he is being homophobic? Why are you making her and her girlfriend, was it girlfriend or wife? I'm just going to say wife. And her wife, why are you getting her and her wife to show up somewhere and then withstand homophobia and abuse from her brother and then being like, well, I paid you to stick around? And she said £2,000 isn't a lot of money. I'm inferring a lot here, but I'm getting rich family that likes the happy family image and doesn't really care too much about the happy family. Like, I'm just gonna throw money at you so you can come to this wedding and stand and look nice and pretend like they're not hurling abuse at you for the pictures, please, thank you. It's giving that. And I'm not saying the fact that they are slightly sticking up for her in some ways, and the dad like put his head down, gives some kind of like they got some semblance of giving a fuck, but it's still not, it's not to the degree that it should be. And I don't understand why they're forcing her to be there. The only thing that comes to my mind is like they want the whole family to be there for optics, for image. It's not real. They don't really care about her feelings because they're forcing her into this situation. And then they're not kicking him out when, okay, you want both your siblings there, but then when he is being a dick, he's got to go. No? I have a lot of family members, like a lot of family members. And I feel like some of them are loose cannons. What's the right word? Some of them are unpredictable. That's a nice way to put it. Some of them are unpredictable, but I love them very much and they will be invited to my wedding. But if they try to fuck with my wedding or they do something unpredictable, they will have to leave. It's the fact that they want her to stay and endure the abuse and then kind of probably pretend like it's not happening is what's giving me, this is for image, this is for optics. They don't actually care why you're there or about you actually being there. It's not like I need to get married and have my sister there kind of thing. Because if you cared that much about your sister, you wouldn't allow this shit to happen. And that's just my 2 cents. I'm just picturing, was it a wedding? That one scene in You where they go to see Love's parents and they're all in like white tents and like white clothes. I'm like imagining this like whole beautiful, clean image that's just like so much trauma and conflict and everything's just like shoved down and ignored. Like we don't see that. We don't talk about it. It's not real. But this person seems very like, nope, I'm not playing the fucking game. Okay, let's go and look at the comments. Nitopian said, not the asshole for leaving the wedding. You're the asshole for keeping the money. I don't think that makes her an asshole. They gave her the money. I would give the money back just because I'm petty in a different kind of way. I'm petty in a different kind of way. Some people would spend the money to be petty. I would give the money back to be petty. Because I'd be like, do you know what? I owe you nothing. You take your fucking money. I don't want anything to do with you. Goodbye. And I would turn my back and walk away. I am permanently petty. Permanently petty. I'm like, you keep everything. You keep everything you got. I'm gone. And you'll never see me again. And for some reason, I think that is some kind of fucking huge punishment. Although I am probably one of the most irritating people on the earth. I do have this kind of thing like, yeah, well, I'm just going to take my energy and my presence and you can suck a dick. That's, I don't know what that is, but that is the way that I deal with my problems. Fit or Fat 1999 says, not the asshole. Did your brother leave you alone? No. Was he on his best behavior? Hell no. You kept your end of the bargain. They didn't. I mean, yeah, because they had no control over their end of the bargain. They were promising something they knew they had no control over and they thought they could just get her there. And they were probably hoping he'd be on his best behavior, but why would he be? He doesn't have any consequences for his actions by the looks of it. His family keep him around and then they beg her to put herself in an uncomfortable position and cross her own boundaries. And I guess we know the parent who enabled your brother all these years, in brackets, mum. Oh, and then it just quotes OP. Mum seems to think I was being paid to put up with his abuse. And then the commenter says, F off, mom. It's true. It's true. She thinks that you can just, I'm just giving this money and you be quiet and it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. It's not all fine, mom. It's not all fine. Electric Hurricane 321 says, I'd look at the £2,000 like a security deposit on an apartment or a house or rental. You don't trash the place, you get the money back. OP's brother is trash. So the family didn't get it. Do you know what I love about Americans? That they use trash as an insult. You are absolutely trash. You are, I guess in the UK we do say rubbish. Oh my God. But I wouldn't be like, you're rubbish. Unless you're like bad at something. We use rubbish as like, you're no good at that. But like, it's not like a defining, like you are rubbish as a person. You are garbage. You are trash. OP's brother is trash. So the family didn't get their deposit back. Simple enough. I mean, I can't not agree. Dom Haney says, not gonna lie, I find it hilarious. I'm sorry, I need to stop doing accents. Not gonna lie, I find it hilarious that he did it immediately. I don't condone the behavior, but the 0 to 100 is impressive. You know, it's not impressive. It just shows that that person has no consequences for any of their actions. They don't even feel worried. Some people are like a piece of shit, but like they hide it until the shit just like overcomes them, and then they can't help but just be a piece of shit, you know, and it just like explodes out of them. And they say something mean or sarky, and then they're like, that was your fault because you blinked wrong and I didn't like it. And you know, they're trying so, bless them, bless their hearts, they're trying so hard to hide it. But this person, obviously, I mean, he probably has that in his day-to-day life, but with his siblings and with his family, he knows he can be a piece of shit and he's still going to get invited to the wedding. It doesn't matter. Somebody replied to that saying, at least he was kind enough to do it early in front of Dad. That way, OP still had plenty of time to write their evening by going out with their wife, and Dad knew exactly why. You know what? The fact that he didn't even care to do it in front of the dad too. Is nobody is, I mean, not one person in this family is like, hey, don't fucking do, you know what I mean? Nobody's mad, nobody's upset. And yeah, Dad knew exactly why. Everybody knew exactly why. It's why she didn't want to come to the wedding in the first place. Sorry, I had a little burp. It was just a cute little girly burp. Oh my God. Shall we move on? Let's have a look. What do we have? Looking at her, thinking about me. Running out tracks, bloody on fee. Your little fuck boys went at me. Do you know what? There was one really good story. You're going to be so mad at me right now. Okay, I'm going to come back to this post on another video because there is like multiple updates and it's just kids dropped off on our porch and it was so interesting. But the original post has been removed and they're waiting to see if it can be, what does it say? It's waiting for moderator approval. So hopefully by the time I film next, that original one will be back. Ooh. Girlfriend went through my phone while sleeping and kind of found something. Like, what does he mean by kind of found something? Okay, this is coming from r/I'm the asshole and it's titled, Girlfriend went through my phone while sleeping and kind of found something. I have been dating my current girlfriend for almost 2 years now. She was actually my first girlfriend and first love I ever had when I was like 14 or 15. But we broke up and reconnected about 9 or 10 years later. I only dated one other girl off and on for the 8 to 9 years we were apart. It was horrible and she really used me and cheated on me repeatedly. So I haven't had much experience with dating. Quite frankly, I've only had good experiences dating my current girlfriend, as the last 1.5 and 2 years. Why did you write it like that? Why do people write like this? 1.5 to 2 years have been absolutely amazing until last night. I took a nap that lasted longer than intended and woke to her on the couch in a very bad mood and her being super quiet. After a lot of poking and prodding, I finally got her to tell me what was wrong. She had gone through my phone while I was sleeping and went through everything. That's crazy. I know people go through people's phones. And I know I went through a guy's phone one time, and it was out of pure boredom. I was like left home alone, just with his phone, no TV, no Wi-Fi for hours and hours. And I was like, I should probably go through this guy's phone. And he was most probably cheating. Anyway, but I afterwards I like cried to him and was like, I went through your phone. I think it's a crazy thing to do. I think that sometimes you got a hunch, and I would never blame a girl for needing that kind of proof before wiping their hands of someone and truly just walking away. But I think as far as we've gotten in this story, what's crazy to me is it sounds like that they have a absolutely fine relationship. And she was like, I'm just going to go through your phone while you're sleeping. I don't know. Obviously, I've read a couple of sentences into someone's whole life. I don't know. But that sounds crazy. All she found was me clicking a link tree of a girl on Instagram who happened to be an OF model. In the link, happened to be is crazy. So you just like saw Sarah in the street and was like what do you mean happened to be an OF model? That wording sounds a little bit misleading, I think. In the link history section of it, you can clearly see I only opened the link tree but didn't click on any links. Then he's got in brackets, would show up in the link history if I did. Brief explanation on my part. I'm a mechanic and a newer Supra. I don't know what that means. I feel dumb. I'm a mechanic and a newer Supra came through the shop. A few of the younger oil changers were all talking about it being a girl's car. And I said I'd be willing to put money on the fact that the owner of that car is an OF model. So she didn't happen to be an OF model. You knew that she was. So I go to the IG on the window sticker and then clicked Linktree, proved my point and closed the app. Then around a week or two later, I was on TikTok and some random goth/emo girl pops up on my phone. In brackets, my girlfriend also has a very similar emo goth aesthetic. And for some reason, I felt compelled to go on this girl's account and just scroll through probably 10 to 15 videos. Who are you fooling, buddy? Who are you fooling? Because it ain't fucking me. I just felt, for some odd reason, I can't explain it, I just felt compelled to look at every single thing she's ever uploaded ever and Google her and see if she had an OF. I didn't comment, I didn't save. I just watched the videos and closed out of the app. Being completely honest when I say this, I never look at other women. I really feel that I only have eyes for her. Are you kidding me? Sorry, my camera's gonna die, but we can get through this. Being completely honest when I say this, I never look at other women. I really feel I only have eyes for her, but still for some reason did what I did. All right, I'm going to try and get through the story before I give all my opinions, because you know I'm like, I just can't stop blurting. So let's just get through it this. All this took place in May of this year, and she went all the way back to find proof of both of those events and is now saying she can't trust me and that I've destroyed our relationship and the love's all gone. I really do love this girl more than anything. I don't want to lose her, but as bad as I do feel for hurting her, I don't really understand why she is so upset as she is. Am I the asshole? Or is she looking for an excuse to leave? Well, that came out left field. That came way from the left. What do you mean, or is she looking for an excuse to leave? Did she say she was going to leave? I don't think she wants to leave. I think she is insecure, maybe. Now, listen to me carefully when I say this. If your boyfriend or if your feed is full of tits and ass and girls and girls and girls on girls and all of this kind of stuff, and you're always kind of consuming that kind of thing, that's a problem, especially if you're in a relationship. I don't think that that's a good thing at all. I think that that is honestly just gross and childish. I mean, if you're 16, okay, I that's different. But if you're a grown up and you're doing that kind of shit, well, you're not going anywhere near me. I'll say that as much. But if you see someone, you think they're cute, you look at that page, blah, blah, blah. I do that all the time. Girls are pretty. They're so pretty. When they're shaped nice, and there's no problem with looking at girls. What this guy did, I don't see any problem with it. And I also think that him being like, I've never even looked at other girls before is overcompensation. I don't believe you that you didn't, but also is it okay if you did? It's okay. You're attracted to women. Hello? Like, if my boyfriend was like, I've never looked at any other girls ever before, and I'm not the only pretty girl in the world. So if I'm the only one you're attracted to, then maybe you're not attracted to, I don't know. People are going to eat me up for saying this, but maybe you're not attracted to women. If you're looking at me and being like, she is the only, am I the most important girl? Do you love my personality and my looks? Do you love me as a person more than you could ever love anyone else? Of course, I would hope so. But if a girl with a fat ass walks by and you maybe are like, take a peek, just a little lingering look, that's not, I do feel like that's human. I feel like that's no? I feel like that's fine. I feel like everything that you did was fine. And I fear that your girlfriend being like, I cannot trust you anymore. And this, I feel bad because I feel like, I don't think it comes from a bad place with your girlfriend. But it does feel really strange that she's like, you've destroyed our whole relationship. It feels like this is such a weird connection and nobody's going to get it. Like, you guys are going to think I'm so fucking strange for saying this. When guys would, have a wank, there would be a bell attached to their wrist so that everybody around could hear what was going on, and then they would feel shame and then they would stop. Nowadays, we're like, actually, that's a terrible thing to do because what they're doing is very human. I feel like getting curious is very human. I think if you're doing it too much, then there's a problem. Same with, you know what I mean? If you're doing it too much, then yeah, there's probably something else going on there, and that's probably becoming a problem, not just for yourself, but the people around you, especially interpersonal relationships. But just having a little bit of human curiosity, having a little bit of a look, that's not relationship ruining. I don't think so. But everybody's different. And, if it does affect you in that way, if it does make you feel that way, but I feel like that comes from within. I feel like that comes from not like they are actually doing anything wrong by having a look. And I'm just talking very casually, very few and far between. You know what I mean? Not looking at different girls every day or actively seeking it. But maybe if a girl with a fat ass walks past, you might look. I think that's human. And I think that if you feel like, no, you were only ever allowed to look at me, I feel that may come from a place of your fear that if they are looking at other people, then they might find someone that they look at that they prefer to look at over you. I feel like it comes from within. But I don't know. I don't know. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts on that are, because I genuinely want to know. I feel like I have these conversations with people and they always think I'm crazy. And I worry that I'm saying something negative about other women by being like, it shouldn't be a problem or you're insecure. I feel like that's mean. And everybody comes at things from different angles for different reasons, and I know that. So just let me know what you think, and is there something I'm missing? Because I feel like I'm in the minority with that opinion. Is there something I'm missing? Okay, I feel like we'll be more prepared next Friday with some more stories, some more time, and I'm very much looking forward to that. But this is what we got for this week. So thank you so much for sticking around. If you stuck around to this point, I am shocked. I am shocked. Because I'm so sorry. Do you know what I need to get better at? Reading the stories and not interrupting every 2 seconds. I just have an opinion every 3.5 seconds. I'm like, he said what, when, how, what? Oh, like, I'm like, what the fuck? But this has been so much fun. I've really enjoyed spending time with you. I'd love to do it again. Do you want to go out next Friday? Sorry. Anyway, I'll upload again next Friday and I'll see you there. Goodbye.